Hi, this is an example of a 4-player game in progress. This is the game board. Up here we have the city crime track, the criminal act cards and the murder investigation board, currently showing that 4 evidence have been collected. Right now it is Officer Edward's turn, and he's located here at the police station driving a marked police car. And since Officer Edwards is good at dealing with street criminals, as we can see here on his character card, he decides to move his car to the nearby bad neighborhood, as 3 street criminals are already present and doing their illegal activities here. So he decides, with the help of Detective Pierce, to try to arrest at least 1 street criminal, and to do so he rolls 3 dice. The result shows that he will be allowed to remove 2 street criminals, as he needed a roll of 3 or more to remove street criminals from a bad neighborhood that has 3 or more criminals. He removes 2 street criminals and receives a donut, which can be used later on for upgrading his character with these upgrade cards, which allows him, for instance, to draw additional investigation cards or to roll extra dice when solving emergencies or arresting street criminals. This concludes Officer Edward's turn, and he has to draw an event card to see what happens. It's another emergency, and it has to be placed at the Big Field Bank, so we find that on the board, which is right here, and we can see that it is a bank robber, and it has a difficulty of 6, which is pretty high. In addition, we need to place an unknown circumstances marker here. It is Officer Hartley's turn, and he's located here, not too far away from the bank robbery in place. So he decides to move over here right away and try to deal with the bank robbery. It's a pretty difficult situation, however, because of the high number, and Officer Hartley only gets to roll 1 die when he deals with emergencies. However, he does get to play cards, and he plays this player card before doing anything, and it allows him to request assistance, and since Odell is in the vicinity, he can go there and assist Hartley in solving this emergency. Furthermore, other players can discard cards like this one, which has the emergency symbol up here, and that allows him to roll even more dice. So now he ends with rolling 3 dice, which is pretty fair. However, before rolling anything, he has to reveal the unknown circumstances to see what awaits him when he enters the bank. Ouch, we have more thugs in the bank, and as we can see on the card, it means that he must roll 1 less die, so he is back down to 2 dice, but it's too late to back out now. So he rolls the dice, and he did not get enough to remove this emergency card, so instead he's actually sent to the hospital, where he has to discard cards. In addition, the marker on the city crime track will move closer to the fail square, which is not good at all for the good cops, but pretty good for the corrupt cop, of course. Before Hartley ends his turn, he must draw an event card and see what happens. It's another emergency. It's a traffic accident, and it has to be placed on the corner of 3rd Street and Eagle Street. We place it here, and as we can see, traffic accidents like this one is pretty easy to deal with. They only have to roll 3 or more to deal with it. However, it blocks the street, so nobody can pass this corner until the traffic accident has been solved. It is now Detective Pierce's turn, and he was going to go over here and try to collect more crime scene evidence, but he can't do that now because he can't get past the traffic accident without solving it first. But since he could do that with the assistance of Officer Edwards, who is already in the area, he will try to do so. So he rolls his dice and see if he can roll 3 or more. He's in luck, so he gets to remove the emergency from the board. In his next turn, Detective Pierce will be able to move over here to the crime scene and try to collect some crime scene evidence. He will be in luck if he draws like this, because that will give him another evidence. However, since Detective Pierce is actually playing as a corrupt cop, He can choose to just say that he didn't draw anything useful and just put all the cards back at the bottom of the crime scene investigation stack. Thank you for watching. I hope that these small examples gave you an idea about how Police Precinct will play.